you doing there? Happy New Year. Welcome to 2025. Let's have some fun this year. Let's make that our New Year's resolution. Fun and joy and laughter and irreverence and silliness. Yeah, I can do that. I can do that. Welcome to 2025, here in the English countryside. I think the trick is to find the joy in the winter after Christmas is finished. That starts and ends with being kind to yourself. There's nothing missing. I've just invited even more cozy in. I'm sad, but I'm ready. I'm sad because I love Christmas so much, but I'm ready because I like the sense of a whole year being sort of stretched out in front. Just going in with no expectations, wanting to go in with a lightness, with a sense of hope, with a sense of adventure. There were some really bad storms just before Christmas, Dara and a couple of other ones. It was just so windy. And there's, I hadn't seen it. There's a little tree that's come down just over here. And because it's all frosty and nice and not too muddy over there, I'm now taking the opportunity to go and sit. It's over here. That's that one there. So crunchy. Oh, it's so nice out here today though. Here it is. Oh, this was such a lovely spot. Ah, yeah. But it's lovely here in the woods right now. You can see through. So over there, that's a bluebell wood in the spring. It's absolutely fabulous. I'll take you there as soon as they're out. It's all taken such a battering. New outdoor furniture this year, for sure. But it's all lovely and peaceful and frosty and sunny. It's time to say goodbye to the tree. This has, without doubt, been one of my most favourite trees in years. It's lasted a really long time, bearing in mind that we got this at the end of November. It's kept its shape. It's definitely drooping a bit. It's very warm in here because I keep the door closed as it's quite cold in the cottage. So I sort of try and section off this room. So it's definitely, I think since sort of around New Year, we've not really paid much attention to it. So it's drying out now and I get that. But it's been lovely and I'm going to miss it and I'm going to miss the lights. And I've loved the colour in the room. So it's definitely my job now to keep the house as cosy as possible without the Christmas decorations. So let's see how we're going to do that. But first, I'm going to take all of this down. Not quite sure. Yeah, okay, I'm going to do it. I've got certain decorations on here, like the little orange slices that I made before Christmas, you'll remember. Let me grab one, here's one. And I want to, I mean, look, they might be in vogue next year still, they might not be, but I want to keep them because they took time to make and it's nice to recycle. Certainly things like Christmas decorations. So I will keep these. The way you store these is just to make sure that it's not damp. And then the other thing I'm going to keep are the paper garlands. These were, each packet was £12, I think. And I bought just 2 packets for this Christmas. But I would find it slightly odd just to chuck them away. Because it's really good quality paper. But again, these will have to be stored quite carefully. So how I'm going to do this, I've actually thought about this. I've thought about this too much. So I would sit over there and then the tree would be here and I would sit there as Christmas went on just thinking, you know, how am I going to store the paper chains? I clearly need more to do. But I'm going to hang them. I'm going to hang them out of sight somewhere in a corner that I won't go to. So they can't go in the garage because it's damp in there. And these will just go, you know, they just won't work very well after a year. So I'm going to hang them in a bunch and obviously they can't be squashed. So I'm going to hang them in a bunch and I think what I'm going to do is tuck them on a hook around by the boiler because that's completely dead space. And then if I want to use them next year, I can. I think I will, definitely. Even if it's not on the tree, I would use them maybe across the beams. I really liked them in the kitchen. They can go anywhere, to be honest with you. They might look really nice over on the hops next year, who knows. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to do with that. Last one. So definitely leaving the candles up here, but removing the greenery. I will take this snow scene down, but not yet. And I've got some really cool projects in the pipeline that I'm really looking forward to showing you. They're all sort of homey projects, and I hope that you'll be able to use them in your own space. So that's exciting. The whole year, it's just felt so rotten since the last week in November. And I was on adrenaline, and I was on just in a rush, and I just put everything to the back of my mind. But as soon as Christmas Day was over, oh my goodness, I cannot tell you. It's like every cell in my body exhaled and gave up. I'm going to leave the hops up, and I'm going to leave the lights around the hops, but I'm removing the bows. And every time I just look at these hops, they shed. It's like a very delicate operation. That wasn't too bad. Oh no! My sleeve caught a bit of it. Ah! Okay, one more. There we are. Oh no, there's one more. I can't even see how I've attached. Oh, yeah, okay. I'm going to lose a few. Oh my lord. Okay. I'm out in the garden now because I've been inside for a few days now, just trying to get over this thing. Which I think is the flu. I'm going to name it. So I'm out. I'm feeling a lot better, but I'm out just getting some fresh, actually, some fresh air, and it feels good. It's very cold, and I'm just going to spend some time out here clearing the drive up there because it's slightly sort of sloped. The car skids at this time of year, as there are so many leaves up there. So I'm scraping away all the leaves. But I just wanted to say thank you so much for the Christmas cards that you guys sent to the deli. I cannot thank you enough. I was so touched. I just couldn't believe it. I don't know. It just really touched me. And my team, like I've said, they didn't open them at all. They left me to open them. They don't open my mail, but they were handwritten and they were so thoughtful, and the messages in them were so extraordinary. And I brought them home. I read them there and then. Like, I literally opened them and just stood there behind the counter and just read them all. And then I brought them home and read them again, because I just was so touched and moved by some of the stories that were in the cards. So I just wanted to say thank you. I know that we're well into January now, but I just didn't want that to pass without recognition. So thank you. I'm quite choked even now. Thank you. I think that this year might take some time to get into, and I'm okay with that, and I think you should be as well. I'm taking the decorations down fairly slowly. It's over sort of 2 days. It's not all done in a morning, and that's okay. Everything's being sorted properly so that it's easy to find next year, that sort of thing. And I think that, so I always try and look for the silver lining, or the opportunity, or the good in the bad. And I think that this flu that I've had, the good that's come from this is that everything has slowed down. So I'm putting the decorations away really slowly, but really well. Like, I am super organised. And I'm not always. So I think that's the good thing. It's almost like January has turned into this big, deep breath in. Yeah. And then, whilst also being a big mug of hot chocolate by the fire. So it's this sense of new beginnings coupled with coziness.
Yeah, I like that.
So yeah, these are all the leaves. It doesn't look like there's much here. There's more over the other side of the gate. Well, no, there is quite a bit here. And they're all sort of up there. Look, you can't even see the salt. That's the salt for the ice. But these cause slippage and skiddage. Skiddage? Is that even a word? No. It sounded like Quidditch, didn't it? Is that that's a Harry Potter game, isn't it? Is that like the air hockey or something? So how are you doing? January 2025, we made it. I hope you all had a fantastic Christmas. I hope that it wasn't full of any drama whatsoever, but just peace and fun and good food and good company. I'm excited for 2025. I think it's going to be a good year. I have a new sweater. I thought I'd tell you about it straight away as it's a Christmas present. It's the strawberry jumper from Campbell's of Beaulieu, which is a company based in Scotland, in the very, very north of Scotland. I mean, north of Inverness. I love this jumper. It's so, so, so warm. It's of course wool. I love the colour, I love the strawberries, and I just love it. It will be no surprise to you that my mum bought it for me, as she seems to keep me in sweaters. I love the colour and I love that it fits so well. But what I love most of all is the customer service that I received when I called them. I wanted to speak to them about the sizing as I wasn't sure what size I was. So I called them and spoke to a lady on the phone about the sizing, and I cannot tell you how helpful she was. It was quite close to Christmas. I'm positive that they were getting lots and lots of calls, but she just acted as if I was the most important customer. It just made me want to buy more from them. And that's how important customer service is. I'm not saying that the customer is always right. I have a hospitality business, and I know that no matter how hard we try, sometimes we are not going to please the customer. And sometimes those customers can be aggressive. We experienced that this Christmas. And it's it's deeply disheartening. So I know that the customer isn't always right, but you have to behave in a certain way. You certainly don't have to put up with any abuse. It's certainly not that. If a customer is clearly on one, you have to placate, diffuse, and wrap it up as soon as you can. That's certainly the advice that I live by, and certainly the advice that I give my team. But the guys at Campbell's of Beaulieu could not have been more wonderful. So it was just lovely to speak to somebody on the phone, and I love Scotland so, so, so much. We holidayed there a lot when we were children, and I miss it terribly. So it's just lovely to be on the phone to somebody in Scotland. Half of my family is Scottish, so it was just lovely to speak to somebody there, and she was wonderful. They sent handwritten compliment slips with the order. You get a brochure, and the best thing is that the company are based. So Campbell's of Bewley, Country Tailors and Outfitters, and guess what their address is? Highland Tweed House, High Street, Bewley, Inverness Shire. I love it. And then, which is so important, if you know me, you'll know that I've turned into a shrinker in my old age, you get a knitwear care guide. So it just goes through all the washing, the pilling, and the hand washing instructions. So highly, highly, highly recommend Campbell's of Bewley. They are what I would consider to be investment pieces. So if you're going to buy one, then you would want to look after it because they're quite spenny. I just have a feeling that I'll be in this jumper for the rest of my life. If I don't shrink it, if I do shrink it, the dog will be in it for the rest of her life. I will repurpose this sweater. So I don't know about you, but I am going into 2025 very, very gently. I am embracing the new year. I am not making any decisions about anything. I am just sort of taking a deep breath, gathering my thoughts, and putting one foot in front of the other. I'm a true believer in wintering, which is, why I have chosen Catherine May's book as the first book of the year for our Cozy Nook book club. I don't believe actually that our body is made for big decisions or lots and lots of exercise or a massive change in our diet or huge changes in winter. I don't think it's the right time. I think at the moment we should be hibernating and leaning into that hibernation. The Danes do it brilliantly. Well, all Scandinavian countries do it brilliantly because their winters are so harsh. I mean, what can you do when the winters are so harsh? And so they winter very, very, very well. And I have learnt so much from the Danes. So I'm taking a leaf out of their book and leaning into the darkness, leaning into the coziness, even though Christmas is over. I think the trick is to find the joy in the winter after Christmas is finished. And I know that when I put that little note on the YouTube channel, what would you like to see in the new year? Lots of you said, well, I'd like to carry on with the coziness even though Christmas is finished. And I agree with you. I think that that's what I want to do. That's what I want to achieve. If I want to achieve anything in January, I just want to, get through it. But it's retaining that sense of coziness, even though, say, the tree is gone. Or I think that starts and ends with being kind to yourself. I'm not saying that you shouldn't exercise. I'm not saying that you shouldn't maybe forego a mince pie for something that's fresher. It's not that. But I do think that what you don't want is to have a sense of defeat at the end of January if you haven't kept up with this huge change in your life. So I'm taking things very, very gently. I am swapping out some of the chocolate for something maybe a bit fresher, but I am not foregoing any of the warmth, the coziness, the light, or the rest. So as I've put the tree and the decorations away, I've not put any of the candles away. I've kept some of the lights up. I have kept all of the blankets here. I've made the space very, very cozy. We've moved the sofas around. We've put the television in a different place to keep that very cottage feel going when there may be some sense of emptiness when the tree has gone or when the decorations have gone. I don't want that. There's nothing missing. I've just invited even more cozy in. I'm really looking forward to this. This is going to be great. But also expanding the view that you get here at the cottage, here where I live, here in the English countryside. That I'm looking forward to. So let's move in to January slowly and gently. Let's get back to it. let's be kind and gentle with ourselves and go into the new year with strength and hope and joy and a sense of mischief.